Four grinding attachment that every welder must master to increase their income. So if you're trying to make more money, fam, you need to learn how to fabricate. You need to learn how to use these four different attachments. And I'm gonna talk about them today briefly. This is the grinder, fam. They come in different sizes, they come in different brands, they come in different lengths. It depends on how much material you're taking off as far as how big it is, how abrasive it is. The wheels come in different sizes, the whole nine. But this one piece of equipment can literally make you a lot of money. This equipment and having your welding machine in your other hand, whatever you're using, from TIG welding to stick welding to flux core MIG, you have this with that, family, you're gonna make money. Most of every shop I went to, you had to have one of these. And most of them required you to have your own. And the reason why they require you to have your own, because if you invest in your own tools, you take care of them, fam. You do other people's stuff different. So they'll tend to let you do your own. So if you mess yours up and you spend that money, you ain't gonna do it again. So normally they say about lesson is the best lesson. So it's always best to invest in your own equipment so you can understand. I had an old guy tell me one time, I'm gonna share this story before we dive into this. When I first got out of prison, family, and I had my first welding job, and I was going up there and I was getting tools all the time with my second welding job, and I was moving up in the game. You know, my pay went up, but I wasn't used to doing a lot of flux coring all the time. So now we're doing heavy steel, inch bigger, right? So certain tools I didn't have, so I was having to go over to this white man and ask him, hey, sir, can I use your tools? And he would let me use them, And one day, I done made a couple checks, and he see that he's been working here about a month, so I know he made some money. And I went over to say, can I use this? He said, can I use your woman? And I said, excuse me? He said, well, that's how I make my money. If I can use what you love, then if you can use what I love, then I can use what you love. And you know what? It broke me. You know what I did the next day? I went and bought me some tools. So from then on out, I started buying my own equipment. And you know the first thing I purchased? The grinder. So we're going to break this down, family, give y'all a easy breakdown so you can understand this. It's not complicated, but you have to be safe. You want to be have the correct PPE on first. So you see I got my coat on, got my jacket, I got my boots, I got my jeans. You don't wear nothing that's going to be flammable or nothing like that. So I'll wear glasses, but I actually got some safety glasses go over mine, so that way I can still see and we can still make this process. So if a student was doing this and you're doing a lot of cutting, I would recommend you wearing some goggles or some safety lenses and a cutting shield. They have a cutting shield that go over your whole head if you're doing a lot of cutting. Now, if you're just doing something small, that's different. And as you get to doing it, you're going to get to noticing that a lot of times, a lot of seasoned welders, they don't even use a lot of their PPE. Sometimes, depends on what they're doing. If it's something quick, they'll just do it. But depends on what it is, they don't use all the PPE. And I'm going to tell you one PPE that they end up taking off, and that's a shield. Now, if you're on an OSHA job site, MSHA, you got to have this on there. They're going to walk you out or give your company a nice ticket. Nice fine, I'm just saying, if they catch you with this not being on here. So when you're fabricating though, and you own your own thing, you're in your own shop, it's okay to take this off once you learn how to use it. Because honestly, if this pad is small and you're trying to get somewhere, sometimes this can get in the way. But it is there to protect you from this busting or popping in your face. Like, it can save you. So I would recommend keeping this on and learning how to use it with it. But I have, even myself, sometimes I take it off and I do it without it too. But for the sake of this video, fam, we got everything on, but we're gonna do this right. So the next thing is, fam, your glove selections. I'm gonna go over this briefly because when you're dealing with stuff like this grinding wheel, the wheel itself, see, the grinding wheel is thicker. You see it? It's about 1/4 3/8 to 1/4 3/8 inch thick. And it's a rock, so it's real abrasive, fam. And if you mess around and miss something and jump back, this will cut through your glove easy. So if you have some small gloves like these are TIG gloves, or you can get some regular gloves, and you can be able to do them as well because you can feel with these. But if you're not used to doing it, I would recommend getting thicker gloves. That way, if it jump or something, it'll hit this and it still won't cut your hand. I have had the grinders jump before and cut through this and cut my finger. Just a little bit, but it bumped went through the glove, so if I didn't have no glove on, I was really in trouble. But it went through the thin glove, hit my finger still, but I was still good. But I would recommend using thicker gloves when you get started, honestly, till you manage, because it's gonna kick. And if you're in a situation where you feel like you gotta do a lot, I would just recommend being safe. Always be safe, always protect your face. I wouldn't have the grinder all up on my face. I can't tell you how many people I've seen grinder like this with a cutting wheel. Family is scared. I'm like, oh, he gonna cut his nose off. Family, this thing can damage you, fam. Like in the field, we call, hey, listen, you know, when you're in construction, we got names for everything, fam. And you know what we call the grinder in the field? We call the grinder the bitch in the field. You know why? Because she ain't got no love, fam. If you disrespect her, she gonna send you to the hospital. So that's what we call it. Say, hey man, where that bitch at? Because listen, you disrespect this grinder, I'm telling you, it will cut fingers off, limbs. I'm about to be 46 and I got all my limbs and everything. I've been doing this for over 21 years. But I do know people who don't because they wasn't practicing their PPE. Practice PPE, fam. Please, please, please. So, for the sake of time, like I say, I'm gonna use these small ones because I'm used to it. But for those who have never used it before, like I said, you still can use some regular gloves. It's just when you're doing a lot of abrasive cutting, I would recommend you having some thicker gloves on when you're learning this process to keep from hitting or going back on your glove, because that can happen. So, right now we got the buffing pad on. So the buffing pad is normally used to knock down the weld, to make it look smooth. You ever seen when someone welded something and you couldn't find where the weld was at? Like, man, that's nice together. Normally they use some type of buffing pad, some different grits on it to get it smooth and get the weld down and blend all the metal. When you're doing a lot of extensive fabrication, this is your friend. When I was building tables and chairs and fire pits and things like that, this was my friend, fam. I didn't use a lot of the rock because we was using the material we was welding on wasn't thicker than, some of the base was like 3/16, but the rest of it was pretty much 1/8 inch to 20 gauge material. So you can blend off a weld good with this. And I kind of want to show you what it do. So I got some pliers here. I'm gonna clamp this little piece that they've been messing with. And I'm gonna put this buffing pad on here to kind of show you the ideal of it. So when you're using it, you never want to get it where the fire is shooting right on you. You at least want to get it where it's shooting away from you, not shooting directly on you, because you still can burn yourself. Okay? You still can catch this on fire, even though it's RF, it will still catch on fire. And see, the purpose of this is to just buff it. It gets it real nice and shiny. Look at that, real nice and shiny. That's pretty much what it do to it, fam. It'll take the weld off, it'll have it real smooth and everything. It'll make it look real nice. Now, we take this off. Normally, these grinders come in different setups. This one got a lock at the back, some of them on the sides. Normally, you hold this, find your lock. Soon you feel it locked, then you can break it off. Now, they do have a key if it gets too tight, but this is not tight. I just hand tight it, but it can get, if you're doing a lot of abrasive cutting, it will do some damage. So now we're gonna put this grinding wheel on. Now, I can say this, depends on what you're doing, you're using different materials. So, the grinding wheel, if you're doing flux core, if you're doing stick welding, probably you're gonna be using the grinder with the grinding wheel. Sometimes you got the cut welds out, sometimes you got the smooth, take off paint or some debris, or cut out an old weld that was broken or busted or whatever, and you use a lot of the rock on stick and flux core. This is what I have noticed. When I'm doing that, I use a lot of the rock. Fabrication, I'm using more of that buffing pad, that cutting pad, getting things right. I didn't use a lot of the rock in the fabrication. But the rock, like I say, it's abrasive. It will work you if you don't know what you're doing. And like I say, it gives more sparks, a little bit more louder, more aggressive. You know what I mean? see how loud it is. And if you look down on here, you can see a little blueness. So we're putting some heat. And I just knocked the weld down that was down here to kind of give you an idea, right? So you can kind of see how loud it is. If you look at it, this is more shiny and smooth. You can literally see the lines in this from cutting it with the rock. So you can use a grinder to knock the weld down, but it's not going to get it smooth and nice and pretty if you was fabricating. But if you was in the field doing construction, this is great. Knock it down, go. This will be fine. You ain't going to use no buffer pad. They ain't trying to do all that. A lot of construction, when you're doing pipe working or when you're doing iron working, putting in multiple stories, they covering it up, they spraying stuff on it, you know, so you got a tolerance there. So it's a little different. All right, now let's dive into, we're going to put this wire wheel. Now, you're going to use this wire wheel a lot in flux core and a lot in stick welding. A lot in flux core, a lot in stick welding. Knock off the hard slag. If you're doing 60-10, 60-11, you know, it's kind of a more rougher process, so it's a little dirtier, you know what I mean? So with this, you can clean it up real well. Any weld cleanup, if you need to take some paint off or just clean something, this is good. But you have to watch it because some of these deals come out. They have some that's better than others, but sometimes these pieces will just fly out. And if they fly out, they can stick in your face, your coat or whatever. So you want to make sure you're real safe when you're doing that because this can hurt you, fam. It really can damage you. So you want to make sure you have proper PPE when you're doing that. So we're going to get ready to shed this so you can see this side. Now, as you see when you're using this one, all it pretty much does, you see how it cleaned that little spot off? So that wire brush, it doesn't take a whole lot of the metal from it, but it will clean a lot of debris. And it kind of smooths it out a little bit, so where those nice, hard scrapes in from that rock, you don't really see it no more now with that wire wheel. So that's a good plus for them. Like I say, just taking some things off makes it a lot easier too. Now, I want you to notice something. See, I put this one on. Now that I got it on there, it's kind of tight. And remember I said some of these deals will do that, and I might have to go get the tool just to break it. Sometimes you can go opposite direction. Sometimes they get stuck. And this one, fam, I might have to go get a wrench because sometimes they do get stuck. This one, it's not one or two release. Sometimes they do get stuck up there. And you be literally trying to get something to break it. But for some reason, this one is stuck. Yeah, I might have to get another wrench. And honestly, I think the one I had, I left. And this is going, it ain't breaking. There it goes. So, as you see, these things can get stuck on there. And if they get stuck on there, it's going to be some work getting it off. So, I'm glad that happened like that. So, you will see, sometimes you have to get in situations where you literally have to work that thing and get it off. And that's just part of the process. So, the last one is the cutting wheel. As you see, the cutting wheel is thin. It's actually a probably 1/8 inch, 16th. I ain't gonna say an 8, 16th. I'm gonna say a 16th, a little over 32nd. And literally, it's made to cut like some scissors or a plasma. You can just put it in there and it'll give you a fine cut. Now they have wider ones, but this is really if you need to put a gap in something, or you need to open it up, or you need to you need to cut a piece off that's in your way. I think this would be a good way to do that if you're using that process. So let me grab the safety glasses. So I always stand to the side too. Now I put about 3 1/4-inch cuts in there. Look at that. So it depends on what you're making. You can cut things with it, like say, these are 3, 4 pieces of equipment that is going to be a great asset for you, fam. So we're going to go over this one more time. You got your cutting wheel, cutting disc, and they come in different sizes. This is a 4.5. I like the 6, the bigger ones, and I have a grinder that got a bigger shield. You got the wire wheel. They come in different sizes and styles. You got your rock, and it comes in the grinding wheel, grinding rock. It comes in different sizes as well. And then you also have the buffing. This is the buffing pad. So these come in different grits. This is actually an 80 grit. So they come in different grits, depends on how aggressive you want it to be. But these are 4 pieces of equipment, attachments that every welder needs to master to increase their pay, to get a better job, to make more money, and start their own business. Because you're gonna have to learn how to use this type of equipment for yourself. So here at the Meta 24 program, we make sure we give them the introduction, show them how to use everything properly so won't nobody hurt themselves, because a lot of jobs I've seen people come on to the job and they didn't know how to use the regular tools. So learning how to use the regular tools is an asset. So here at Arkansas Baptist, our goal is to give the introduction to welding, to TIG welding, and to teach them all the safety principles and concepts, and give them the hands-on practice so that way they can step out there and get a job. So if you're looking for an opportunity, call 501-420-1200. That's 501-420-1200. Ask about the Meta 24 program. Ask about the welding program. Get on the waiting list. I'm gonna make sure I leave a link inside of this at the comments of this video so you can kind of sign up. It's a free email list, but if you get on it, the first 100 is going to get addressed first. So if you're really trying to change your life, you in Little Rock, you can get to Little Rock, get to this area. I would most definitely say this is a great win-win opportunity. If you don't have a GED, that's okay. That's not a requirement, but we can help you get one here with the adult ed that we have on the campus. So that phone number is 501-420-1350. That's 501-420-1350. That's adult education. Get your GED, fam. Change your life this year. You can get a GED, you can get a skill, and you can get a trade. That's how Arkansas Baptist is changing the game this year, fam. You have no excuse to level up and get yourself educated and grow your business. Hold on.